sweet like honey when it comes to me. Skin is caramel with the cocoa eyes. Even got a big sister by the name of Chocolate Top. Brown sugar, babe. I guess high off of love, don't know how to behave.
What's poppin', y'all? It's your girl Flo'Shay, and y'all already know we back at it with tonight's episode of Authentic Flow, where we keep it real as fuck. And as promised, this is episode 14, and this is the episode where I told y'all I was going to be opening up to you guys about something very deep and very personal. And the reason why I didn't drop it yesterday is because, first of all, I had homework, so I do apologize for that. I'm a day late. And I honestly was contemplating whether or not I really wanted to talk about this situation or not. I did have to, reach out to a few people and get their advice on me talking about it. And because I just became really nervous. So I was like, I don't know if I want to put myself out there like that in that type of way. But after talking to a few people and they gave me, some good advice, I just decided that I'm just gonna do it. Another reason why I was basically contemplating was because it's like I really want to come from a place of like good intention. Like I want this to be intentional and I want it to be impactful, and I want it to reach people and maybe help somebody in the process, or you know just maybe encourage somebody to help somebody else or tell their story, or just whatever the case may be. And like I said, I really wanted to come from a place of good intent. Not that I would speak bad intent. My bad, y'all. I got a piece of hair in my mouth. But not that I would speak bad intent on it or whatever. But, when you open it up to everybody, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a huge step. And I did have a lot. It wasn't really necessarily whether I was thinking about how people thought of me or whatever. For the most part, everybody knows me, knows I'm an open book. I'm pretty outspoken. I say exactly what's on my mind. So I really don't, like, I guess you could say, hide things. But there's certain things I do feel like, I keep private. And this is a situation that like I said, I feel like I can help somebody with. So I just, I'm now ready to tell my story. Disclaimer. Anything that I talk about, I am not glorifying anything in any type of way. Like I said in previous episodes, and sorry y'all, I got this piece of tissue right here because for some odd reason my allergy was acting up today. But the things that I talk about are, like I said, not glorifying, and I'm not looking for attention. I'm not, this is not like a pity party. I'm not trying to throw a pity party. Like I said, I just want to get my story out there, and I want people to see that it's very much possible to get out of a lifestyle that you don't think that you can. And it's possible. And that's just pretty much why I'm just gonna tell my story. So I'm probably gonna go too in depth about everything, but I will tell you guys pretty much just like the basics of things and how I got through shit. So um I was a sex worker. Call it what you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? There's multiple names for it out there. And I basically heavily got into it when I moved to Vegas. And it was just like a different ball game. What made me kind of like get more into it, first of all, for those of you that don't know, if you're oblivious to it, Vegas is like the whole capital, hoe and pimp capital, or whatever. So a few years ago, I had came out here, and I came out here. Well, I actually came out here twice, in 2017 and 2018, and both times I was kind of like did dirty or whatever, but I just was determined to come back out here, and I was determined to, come up and make all this buku money and this, that, and the third. So, long story short, I ended back up in Vegas in 2020, and I ended up meeting somebody. I guess you can consider him like a boyfriend pimp or whatever. And honestly, I just was doing this to try to prove, like, first of all, I've always been like a getting money ass female. You know what I'm saying? I've always just been like a hustler, ambitious ass woman. So I just was like, if I could do this in Cleveland, I can do it in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't doing so much of the sex work in Cleveland. I was really more in the strip club with it. You know what I'm saying? I guess you could say stripper hoe. You know, excuse my terms and stuff like that, but I'm just being all the way real because that's what we do. So I was more on the stripper hoe term side of it, and so I didn't really do too much sex work when I was in Cleveland. And then when I came out here, it was a different ball game. That's all they do out here, right? So, like I said, I had been doing it, but I was with somebody at the time. And like I said, you can consider him a boyfriend pimp or whatever. And I was giving a lot of my money to him. And we distanced ourselves. Let's just say that, because we didn't really break up because we still continued to fuck with each other. But we distanced ourselves, and I was trying to, like, I guess you could say, find other dudes to talk to or whatever, trying to fill a void, trauma bond, everything like that. I ended up meeting this dude, and we got hella cool, whatever. But he wasn't into that lifestyle, you know, not like that. He was just around all that type of he was around that type of lifestyle, but he wasn't in it. You feel me? Y'all probably don't feel me, but you'll understand. You'll get it more I talk about it. So we was cool with whatever, and at the time I had just got a new car, and I was like, okay, I'm away from this nigga, whatever. I'm gonna go make me some bread, and I'm finna, like, be able to save it all to myself, keep it all to myself. I could start investing in myself, doing stuff for me, living my life how I want to by doing this, right? So one night I just hit my homie up, and I was just like, what's up? I'm finna go outside. Terms is outside. I mean, there's multiple, you know, definitions of outside, but whole terms, when you say outside, we finna go outside, we finna go make some money. So I hit him up, I'm like, I'm finna go outside. And at the time I just wanted some security, like a male presence there, just in case anything happened or anything like that. So I was just like, yeah, you trying to come with me? He was like, he was down. So at the time I was working off a site or whatever, and I had a text now number, and people were calling my phone and stuff like that. And I had the first lick of the night or whatever, and he was offering $400. Yeah, he was offering $400. And mind you, when these people call your phone, you don't know what they is, how old they is, what race, who they are, or nothing. Now there's certain, like, I guess you could say, like, code questions, and, like, I don't know. You could just kind of tell, like, when it's a cop after a while, like, doing it for so long. You can tell when it's a cop, but, like, sometimes you can't. I'm saying, like, you can't tell like they race or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't tell if they 50, 60 white or nothing or black. I mean, you can kind of tell for the most part a black person, but there's been times where I was on the phone with a black man and he sounded like a white man, and and just so you know, a lot of like 304s or sex workers. Let me not just say 304s, but a lot of sex workers don't like to be um deal with black men. You know what I'm saying? At least I didn't. Let me speak for myself. I didn't deal with black men. I didn't like to deal with black men. Um, More so for this reason. But um, so yeah, like I said, he gave me a call, and I'm honestly thinking that he was a white man because that's how he sounded. He offered 400 for my services or whatever. And then so when you in this game, you really have to like be aware of things. I feel like if you just go into shit, just doing shit blindly and just being dumb, you're not paying attention to your energy and your vibes and stuff like that, bad things are bound to happen. So with that being said, I was being thirsty for some money, I'm not even gonna lie. So I was like, fuck it, let's just go get this bread, da da da. And honestly, I was thinking to myself, like, okay, this is the start of the night, $400. Like, okay, cool. That's a good start. And so he gave me the address and everything, and me and my homeboy, we drove over there or whatever, whatever. And there was a cop car, basically outside or whatever, and it was just like a lot of different signs that I didn't pay attention to. You know what I'm saying? I got the bad vibe on it. I just didn't pay attention to it. And because money is the root of all evil, and that money was calling my name. It was only $400, but it was just like I really needed the bread, so I was just like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? I definitely disregarded a lot of like signs and just shit that I should have just paid attention to. And just one thing led up to another. And long story short, I'm not gonna like go too super deep into the details, but I ended up getting raped um while, working or whatever. So like I ended up going into his house, and um basically he didn't have like when you doing this, you need your money up front. My first mistake was when I walked up to his door. First of all, there was a cop car. That gave me a bad vibe, and I didn't even pay attention to that. I was like, fuck it. Then it was like a car that rushed down the street, like just was rushing away from his house, um, or whatever, whatever. And then third, I didn't get my money right when I walked at the door. Like I immediately should have got my money before I even stepped foot into that door, or not even step foot, but like soon as like that money transaction should have happened as soon as I like before I even walked upstairs. You get what I'm saying? Like as soon as I step foot in that door, I need my money. You know what I'm saying? So I ended up going upstairs, and he was like just fidgeting and playing the fuck out of crazy. He was being mad weird. It was just like hella signs. It was just hella signs that he was showing that he was on some weird shit. I ended up texting my peoples like, this nigga on some bullshit. So I ended up getting up and, you know, trying to leave. And he was like, hold on, no, 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 da, da, da. You guys, and this wasn't like a forceful rape at all or nothing like that. He played it like as if he was like digging in his bag and, like getting the money or whatever. And that's what I was thinking. But I did text my peoples, but I set the phone down and I just like set it right there, And, um, like I don't even know. It just happened so quick. Like before you know it, he had like this weapon. I don't know how to explain it. It was like either like a screwdriver. It wasn't like a screwdriver, but it was really long and it was like a heavy piece of metal on it. It was like a stick thing. And he basically told me like to take off my fucking clothes. And I asked him, I said, and if I don't, you know what I mean? He was like, I'm gonna bust your fucking teeth out. So yeah, that happened. And I don't know, just during that process, it was like I basically started crying. I told him like, please At least don't rape me without a condom, you know what I'm saying? I did say that, and I don't know if that's like too explicit or whatever, but I don't know. It was like a um a fucking like closet right there, and like he had his mattress on the floor, and it was like a closet mirror right there. And so like I basically just watched the whole thing happen. Like I said, it wasn't like forceful. It wasn't like the nigga threw me down or nothing like that or whatever. But I felt scared enough in that situation to comply to what he said. And like I said, I didn't say that, but I had heels on and I was sitting on the mattress. So I was looking at the door and I was thinking like if I got up and ran, like ain't no telling. Like it was so dark in his house. I didn't know what kind of people he had in his house or whatever. So I just didn't know. I was scared in that situation, y'all. So it was like maybe I could have thought faster or whatever, whatever. Um, I don't know. This is not about me like sitting here trying to think what I could have did better in a situation because I think that at the end of the day I've accepted, how whatever, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But in that moment I was scared and I just felt like, let me just do what the fuck this man says before, what I'm saying, anything else happens, like before I get seriously harmed though. So that's what I was thinking. And then after that happened, he basically was like, ugh, ooh, y'all, hold on. Mm. Okay, so after that happened, he basically was like, he basically was like, if you don't tell anybody within, or if anybody doesn't come to my house within 24 hours, I'll send you the payment. And I just basically like ran out the house. And honestly, I was scared anyway because there was a cop right across the street. And I just told this like my friend, like, nigga, come here, hurry up and come get me. Hurry up and come get me. And that was that. And like I was just very angry after that. Like in my mind, I didn't give a fuck about no cop. I was texting this man's number days after, like, nigga, you're a rapist. I wanted to like spray paint this nigga's house, let him know he was a rapist. And I don't think that was his house that he was at or whatever. And I just had like terrible thoughts, y'all. Like I had terrible fucking thoughts. Like I wanted this nigga and whoever in that house to die. I wanted to shoot up the house. I wanted, like, it was a lot of stuff. Like it was a couple times I pulled up in my car and just like sat outside his house and just watched. And I done sent his number to a couple of people, you know what I'm saying? Like, um, I still have the address, y'all. I'm not gonna do nothing, but yeah, so so I guess basically the point of the story is like one thing that when I was I didn't really tell anybody about the situation, but how I had to get over it was by just accepting the fact that I was in the game, and that is kind of a part of it. Now, I'm not saying that that's how I feel right now or anything like that, but that's just how I had to cope with it. You know what I mean? And anybody I talked to about it, that's kind of what they said. And, it was kind of like, well, it's not like I was looking for sympathy or anything like that, but it was just like I was looking for a little bit more comfort than I got in this situation. And so I just say all that to say this. I wanna say this. I don't give a flying fuck. And I stand on this very strongly. I don't care what the fuck a woman is doing, what she's wearing or whatever. There's not a sign that says I want to be raped. I don't care about none of that shit. You get what I'm saying? Like we have a right to our fucking bodies, and whether I was a sex worker or not, that does not give any man a motherfucking right to violate my privacy, my consent, or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to throw that out there. And I had to learn that over the years. I want to say this probably happened like 3 years ago. So I had to really heal through that. Like I didn't have nobody to talk to or nothing like that. And that's another reason why I want to tell my story to y'all. Because if you feel like you don't have nobody to talk to, or if you're alone or anything like that, you are not. I am in fact a survivor and I got through it. Look where I'm at. I'm like, not to always just bring this up, but I'm in school. I'm doing better. I'm not in that lifestyle no more. I'm good with God. You know what I'm saying? Like, it definitely is a better outcome from that. Now, it takes a little bit longer for others to heal from situations than it do others or whatever. And honestly, I don't think that it's something that you will ever properly, or not, I can't say properly, but it's not, it's something that you'll never really fully heal from. You get what I'm saying? But you guys, look at me. You know what I'm saying? I had enough courage to let you guys know, and I wanted to tell you like the darker side of, you know, the street life, being a sex worker or whatever. A lot of people kind of glorify it like it's, oh, you get money and da da da. Like, yes, the money is good when it's good. That's another thing people don't tell you. Like, it's not like every day you wake up. I don't give a fuck if you are $1,000 a night, $2,000, $10,000 a night as female. You make that much money. I guarantee you, no one's making that type of money every night that they work. Do you get what I'm saying? There's bad days in all of this shit. You know what I'm saying? So even with that money shit is not what it's all like cracked up to be. Um, and not all money is good money. Doing this shit, doing that shit, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't do it anymore. Let me be clear. Actually, haven't done it in almost a year now, so I'm good. But but doing that shit, actually, you have to mentally, like, you have to be ready, mentally prepared for any of that type of shit. You get what I'm saying? Like, you literally have to prepare yourself. You gotta take drugs, you gotta drink, you gotta do whatever it takes for you to get through that day. And think about it, you got 10 more to go do. Now, I'm not saying it like that, because some women are different. You got 4 more to go do. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just all the way being 100. 100. Like, this shit is not peaches and cream, depending on, there is levels to this shit. You get what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, each level, you still have to mentally, like, kind of either, it's like self sabotage or mentally just self destruct in every way. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, you literally have to either self medicate, put your body through, and not only through the self medicating, but you're transferring energies, sleeping with different men who have slept with multiple other women who have already are going through. A lot of these women, like, and I'm sure I'm not the only person that's been a sex worker and that has gotten raped. I know that I'm not. You know what I'm saying? So I speak for a lot of women, when I speak my story, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, I always want to just like tell y'all the darker side of what people don't tell y'all. The shit is not just no, yes, like if you get money like that, I guarantee you these women are depressed behind them thousands of dollars. You know what I'm saying? You can't really enjoy your shit because now everybody sexualizes you and they know that. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes you just give off like a certain aura, or you're just so used to, what's the word I'm looking for? You're just so used to acting, I guess you could say, in a certain way. It's like you don't even, you can't like decipher from real, the lifestyle and actual like real life. And to me, I feel like I really couldn't really connect with people outside of that, because I'm like, I just looked at them differently. You know what I mean? But ultimately, that is me telling my story. And I just wanted to say that anybody that is going through the situation may have been through the situation, whether you were a sex worker or not. I just want to let you know, remind you again that you are beautiful, and listen, you have every I don't even know what to say, but like, you are a powerful being. You get what I'm saying? Whether or not me telling my story gives you courage to tell yours, which I pray that I do. I hope that you just take something from this and you see me and where I'm at in life and everything. Life is good for me, you know? Like, like I said, it's not easy, the pain, you know, and now you just know now that you have somebody else out there. You know, if you see this video and if it reaches anybody or anybody that's been through any type of sexual assault or anything like that, just know that you are not alone. And as I said in all episodes, and I will keep saying, you know, trust God, believe in God, and you will get through it.